Welcome to this exciting episode of Bob the Sign Man. Let's see what the Sign Man has for us today.
Hello everybody, welcome to this exciting episode of Bob the Sign Man. Today I'm going to show you our MX Fuel driver from Milwaukee that we got. It's to drive our anchors into the ground for our traffic signposts. So here's one of our anchors here, 30 inches long. We drive them all the way up to about 2 to 3 inches in the ground, so you have about 27 inches in the ground. Some of the ground is rocky, some of the ground is soft. First question is, how many posts am I going to get per charge? It runs on battery. No gas, no cords, no generators. That's one of the big pros of it. Our driver that we use now, the Punjar, just about on its last leg. We bought it used in 2014, so it's about 11 years old. It's driven thousands of anchors in, so it's ready to go. Nobody knows how to work on those things. They're not very common. We paid, I think now the ones they use are called Cobra Combis, and they run over $6,000, $6,500 to $7,000. This was $2,600. We did buy an extra battery, $650. And we got the shaft to drive them in, the adapter. It's an inch and an eighth. The Punjar and the Cobra Combi is probably a little smaller. This thing's kind of heavy. It weighs about 15 pounds, plus this is about 63, so I don't advise moving it around with that thing on. You're just going to add extra weight. But it's not too bad. There's two of us, and we usually will both kind of carry it, maneuver it around. So I told the boss I need to replace it. He said, go electric. I thought, oh, go electric. So I started looking, and the feasibility of getting an electric one, then you have to carry a generator, then you're still carrying gas around with you. I live in California, work in California. I don't even begin to tell you how tough it is to get something that is gas powered anymore. They're crazy people are thinking, I don't know what they're thinking. Anyway, so we went all electric. So pros and cons, the Punjar, you have to carry the gas. You have to premix the gas. You have spark plugs. You have starting issues. You have the cord that seems like they break all the time because you're always pulling on the thing to start it. Take it in for service. It's gone for a couple weeks. The place here in Napa, where I live, you're 3-4 weeks out sometimes to get it serviced, so you're a month without it. This, always ready. Like I said, probably depends on the soil. I was up to about 12 anchors before I lost the first battery power. And so if you carry 2 batteries, that's why we bought the extra battery. I bet you could go out and get 15, 20 in some nice soft dirt. And to tell you the truth, I don't do that many in a day, it's a county and we're so far away. We do some installs, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 a day. So we have that capability of the extra battery in case, we need it. You don't want to be out in the middle of, sometimes I can go 60 miles to get to one of my signs. You can't run back, charge it, and come back again. That's just not going to happen. So, we went the electric route. And so far it's been a pretty good little investment. Like I said, 99.9% of my installs are in dirt. I probably have maybe less than a dozen signs that I've ever installed in cement, and the Punjar does come with a little attachment because it is a rotor hammer. I think the Cobra Combis do that too. So the guys that are in the cities and stuff, another option I have if I ever have to do cement is I have a suitcase generator with a rotor hammer, and I have a 2.5-inch round core drill that I can drill through the cement, and then I can punch the anchor in. So you got to look at it both ways. So in California, like I said, everybody's going electric out here. We have to start buying electric vehicles and stuff. So anyways, we're just getting into this thing now, but and it's got the cart that you can move it around with. Like if you're doing no parking signs or something, like sometimes we'll go out and you do 10 no parking signs. We got the cart that we can, park in our spot, and we can wheel it to sections, drive in our anchors, and come back and put in our posts. You can work around. There's always workarounds for everything. So we'll go out and do a little demo, and I'll show you. I got one video I'll show you of my coworker. I actually got somebody to work with me now about that. He's driving one in, and it took a minute to drive it into the ground. So some agencies dig them by hand, so you figure, 20 minutes, 15, half an hour, depending on your dirt. You get down so far sometimes. I used to then hit a rock, and then you have to move to another spot. I've taken sometimes 45 minutes to drill one hole or dig one hole by hand. Minute, so that's a possibility of recouping some of the costs there in labor. So we used to use the punjar. Let me show you the punjar. So the punjar, it's got the pull cord. You have to mix it with gas. Got the spark plug, and there's just always maintenance to do to the thing, and nobody knows how to work on the things. It's kind of a cast, and we've had to take this side cover off, and replace the cord numerous times. It's just basically time for it to go. One of the deals is this box is 36 inches, and our Milwaukee driver won't fit in there. So we're going to go with a little bit longer box. We're going to go with like a 48-inch box. I'll show you the box, and I'll show you one of the little problems we're having. So here's the door that comes down. We've had to replace these hinges because this thing, sometimes you lift it up, set it here to put it back in there. These rods, they get bent all the time, and it's just a mess with this setup here. I've never really liked it, but and then here's the driver that we use for the punjar, but the shaft is a lot smaller. I'll show you the size comparison. Overall height, a little bit longer. The dimensions, you can see it's a little bit bigger right there, so it does weigh a little bit more. So here's the box we bought. We bought it from Home Depot. I'll put a description below. And I think it was, I'll have to look the price up. I can't remember what it was. 48 inches, 24, 18. But the jackhammer, are 25, so it doesn't fit. You could probably stick it up at an angle and then block it. We made some of these templates. We were thinking of just, putting it on a block, but we don't want it to rest on the handle. So what we're going to do is cut a hole in the back and attach a little piece on the back so it's waterproof and everything. So the handle fits in there, so it's not resting on the handles, because we're afraid about vibration hitting the handles. Then we'll put a rubber mat down below to kind of protect it as it's driving. And with the two of us now, fitting everything in the trunk is kind of cumbersome. So it'll give us some room to put, a lunch pail and stuff in here too. And it'll stay a lot cleaner because you're not mixing the gas and the oil all the time. Like I said, getting the thing serviced is a nightmare. And I guess the only thing to do now is go out and do a little demo. And we'll see how easy it is to drive an anchor in with this thing. I think you'll be impressed. I sure am.
Some of the audio was not having it because of the highway in the background. Not to worry, I will take over and let you know what the sign man is doing. Next, make sure the anchor is in the correct position and facing the direction for vehicle visibility of the new traffic sign. There is a button on top of the hammer to turn the hammer on and off. Make sure it is in the off setting when finished. You don't want to hit the trigger when putting the hammer away? Let's get all set, then press on the trigger and drive the anchor into the ground. Not so fast, sign man. You have a little bit more to go to drive that anchor in. When the anchor is driven to the correct depth, turn the hammer off. You don't want to grab the handle and have it start driving again? Well, there we go. While you guys are still working to get the anchor in the ground, the sign man is finished. Who you going to turn to when you need help? That's right. Just turn to the sign man. As always, thanks for watching Bob the Sign Man on YouTube. Please stay tuned for more exciting episodes coming up. I wonder what the sign man will be up to next.
Thanks for watching this exciting episode of Bob the Sign Man. Filmed in the beautiful Napa Valley, Bob the Sign Man directs, produces and edits all of his own videos. To learn more about where Bob the Sign Man gets his materials and sign supplies, check out www.bobthesignman.com. As always, thanks for watching. See you soon.